welcome back to Cask 529. I'm Bryan.
And I'm Shona.
Tonight, we've got something different set up.
We do. I know that we've had a couple of these on the show individually.
We have.
But we tonight are doing the Joseph Magnus lineup. I really enjoy the Joseph Magnus line. Kind of pricey, honestly. However, I just love the story that goes behind the Joseph Magnus line.
Yeah.
You know, so Joseph Magnus, his father died in the Civil War, and he had younger siblings that he had to care for. And so he ended up opening his distillery and stuff like that after the Civil War. Then unfortunately, Prohibition came along, and you know, he had to shut down. And after Prohibition, he stayed shut down. He did not reopen. However, almost a century later, a great-grandson found a 122-year-old bottle of the Murray Hill Club whiskey that Joseph Magnus had made, and he had some of that extracted and given to industry experts to help him recreate it. And so now it's back up and going. It was reestablished in 2015. Instead of the original area where it was, is now up in Michigan. But yeah, I think it's a great story. And so, you know, it's kind of unique when you can put some history behind it, that, you know, your offspring for many years later recreate something that you did. So pretty cool.
Yeah.
So there are 3 whiskeys, bourbons in their line that I know of. There may be some special releases and stuff like that, but the normal ones that you can generally find. The Cigar Blend is a special release, and it only gets released every now and then.
It is. It's here in Ohio. It's allocated. However, when I got the bottle of Cigar Blend, I guess would have been late summer, early fall, somewhere in that time frame. It had been spotted here and there throughout Ohio. It was locally here, and I grabbed it.
Yep.
Shortly after that, it seemed like it showed up at that store almost every week. And there's been some droughts where it hasn't shown up. I think I looked on Friday night, and it looked like it was going to be there on Saturday. So I guess it's hit and miss.
It gets bought up pretty quick if it hits the shelves.
It does, yeah. It doesn't last.
So the regular Joseph Magnus, it is triple finished in 3 different casks. It is 2 different sherry casks and then the cognac cask. And so it is straight bourbon whiskey aged in the white oak barrels and then triple finished. It is 100 proof. Retails here in Ohio for $99.99, and we are going to compare these. This is the only one we have not done on the show. We're going to compare it to the other 2 that we have done previously individually, with that being the Cigar Blend. And the Cigar Blend, this is batch number, I'm sorry, it's really hard to read this label. It's brown with gold lettering.
Yeah,
so it's batch number 194, and so it is at 113.92 proof, and of course it is a combination of Joseph Magnus 11 and 18-year-old whiskeys, and they are finished in Armagnac cask. Did I say that right?
I'm not sure.
You guys can tell
Somebody
me in the
will
comments.
correct us if it wasn't right.
And I don't know if I said it, this one here in Ohio retails for $199.99. And then we had the Murray Hill Club. This one seemed to be obviously Joseph Magnus, known for famed whiskey back in his day. This one had a lot of attention, news articles and stuff like that. This one is batch number 74, and it is 103 proof. And so I just seen on here, because I was looking for that earlier to be able to tell you. So originally Joseph Magnus established in 1892. A lot of the news articles I was finding were like from 1899, but it's actually 1892, then reestablished in 2015. So anyways, this one is marries 18 and 11-year-old bourbons with a 9-year-old light whiskey. And so anxious to see which one we actually like better.
Yeah.
We did have this just a few weeks ago at our whiskey night tasting event that we have with some people, and you know, Bryan and I do a lot of talking. I know Bryan does a lot of talking on there, so we made notes and stuff, a little bit of notes, but we never really got to really think about which one we truly like the best.
Right.
They're all good, but it'd be good to know which, and we knew which ones we were tasting when we were tasting. So tonight we're going to kind of blindly taste them to see which one we like the best.
Okay.
Sound good?
It does.
Start with number 1.
She's finally going to let me have a drink. That's kind of a, I wouldn't really say it's a sweet nose, but it's not a spicy nose. I almost get a little bit of an ethanol nose on that. What? You didn't really say anything. You went right into drinking, so.
I do not get ethanol. To me, it is a sweeter nose. There's not a whole lot on the nose, but definitely sweeter. But I do not pick up the ethanol. Maybe more of a burn, and that might be what you're
Could be.
sensing.
Because it's really spicy to me
Yeah.
on the palate. It's got I guess a sweet undertone, I'll say, but primarily to me that's pretty spicy, oaky.
So on the nose, I am getting some vanilla and toffee and some spice. As it first hits my palate, it's sweeter, kind of fruity. Honestly, I'm not picking out individual fruits, but it feels kind of fruity. Then I'm getting finishes with a spice. This one doesn't drink super warm.
It's pretty spicy to me, but
Yeah.
by the time I come back to it, it may not be. I don't know if you've had anything to drink.
I have not.
That's my first drink, so it may
It's good.
change. It is good. It's got a nice flavor. To me, it's just really warm, though, which nothing's really high proof, so
No, the cigar blend at 113.9.
That's the highest
That's the
we have.
highest, yep. On to number 2. This one's really sweet.
now I do get the sweet nose on that
Yeah.
one.
Kind of citrusy, honestly. Almost reminds me of like a old fashioned with the orange peel. A little bit.
Yeah. Has a lot of those characteristics. I kind of get that maple syrup a little bit. That creamy.
This one's really, really creamy, just like you said, like a buttery.
Yeah. If Mike was here, I'd say butter popcorn
Yeah,
just for his
buttered
benefit.
popcorn. I'm picking up some baking spices. Not really pepper, more like clove or something like that on this one. It's almost finishing with like a, I want to say like a black licorice type, just a hint of it.
maybe a little bit. I definitely pick up my brown sugar in that. The vanilla, like I said, the maple syrup with that creamy texture. It does, look at the legs on that.
Yeah. Still really good.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I like that one.
On to number 3. Now, I might say number 3 has the best nose. Smells similar to number 2. It has that, like an old-fashioned orange rind, like sweet. It's not the vanilla and caramel. It's more of a honey, orange, citrusy nose.
That one is really mild on the palate, in my opinion. I don't really get any spice at all out of it, which is what the nose showed.
Yeah, I'm picking up some darker fruit. A hint of cherry.
Another one that I've never really picked up before, but to me, you mentioned the fruit. I almost get almost like a plum flavor.
Yeah.
Is what I'm getting.
Or that, or a fig.
Yeah, it's
Brown sugar.
definitely.
It's maybe like fruits cooked down in brown sugar.
Somebody trying to make simple syrup.
Mm-hmm. I think number 3 might be my favorite.
It's a toss-up between 2 and 3 for me.
Yeah, it's really smooth, but you're getting all kinds of flavors. You're getting as it hits your palate, you're getting that sweet, citrusy type taste, and it rolls into like a darker fruit, like the cherry, and maybe a hint of leather, and then it rolls into just a tiny bit of spice and brown sugar. And it's probably that fig or the, what did you? Plum that you mentioned.
Yeah, I think the nose is just so pleasant, and then that rolls right into the palate.
Yeah.
What you get off the palate is a direct match to the nose.
Yeah, I'm anxious to go back, but right now, number 3's leading the charge for me.
Yeah, that one's really nice.
And go back to number
Guys, we did
3.
make it to another Ohio distillery
Yes.
this weekend.
We made it to 2.
We did make it to 2.
Yep.
One of them, though, are you talking about Red Eagle?
Yeah.
Okay.
We were there.
Red Eagle is in, I guess that's considered Harpersfield.
Yeah, I would say
Ohio.
that or Madison. I'm not sure if it's Harpersfield or Madison.
It's near Geneva, Ohio, regardless of where it's at exactly, but it's right in that area. And that's kind of a regular stop for us when we go up there. The bourbon is really good, but that's not really why we go there. We go there for the cocktails. But the other distillery we went to, and I always forget the name.
It's Western Reserve.
Western Reserve, which is on the west side of Cleveland. And that is actually Lakewood, I believe is the address. Lakewood, Ohio.
No,
I don't think
is
it's
it
Lakewood.
Lakewood? Okay.
Really, really cool place. Kind of downtown. It's not outside of town, definitely. But
Plenty of parking in the rear, in the
lots
back.
Lots of parking. Kind of an industrial type setting inside.
Yeah.
I think the floors were even wooden.
I can't remember
The
that.
ceiling was like all open ceiling, painted black.
You see the ductwork.
Yep, and a lot of the doors, like on the kitchen and the gift shop, they were all like barn doors.
They were like metal,
Metal, yeah.
like galvanized steel type.
Right.
They were really cool.
Really, really great setting. We each did a flight of 4 each, so we tasted 8 of their varieties. I think that was probably only about half of what they had. Great kitchen.
Yeah.
We each had a great meal.
Great staff. Everybody was super friendly.
Answered lots of questions for us. So, in a future show, I picked up a bottle of rye that we will be
6-year-old rye.
we will be reviewing. We picked up some other bottles, but we're going to have them for our whiskey night that we do here once a month. So in time they'll make it onto the show. But everything we had out of the eight samples we had, we liked them all.
We did. It was a very good stop. Very good recommendation from one of our
Yeah.
viewers. So thank you.
Yeah, if you're watching, Scott, great call on that place.
We really enjoyed it.
So
In fact, we picked up an extra bottle
we did,
of their wheated whiskey.
and that's going to be
One of our giveaways
when we
hit
get to 1,000 subscribers. So we had said before that we were going to give away, well, again, Scott recommended that we concentrate on some Ohio bourbons. So we decided that when we get to 1,000 subscribers, we're actually giving away more than one bottle this time. And I think we're going to make them all Ohio bourbons.
Yes, we are.
So the first one is in-house. We have the first one here. So.
We do.
So that's that. That's just a little side note. One of the things we did this weekend. So
Yes. So let's go back through.
still really nice.
It is. It is. While we're going back through these, if anybody else here in Ohio has any recommendations for us on any distilleries, I know we still need to hit Middle West up in Columbus. But I know there's a lot more, so if you've hit one and you like it really well and recommend us going there, please do so. We'd appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know, that nose might be a little more pleasant coming back through.
It is. It was good the first time.
Yeah.
But it is.
I mean, that creamy that's the first thing I notice when it hits my palate.
Absolutely. And you don't normally like creamy. So
I don't.
are you liking it on
I
this
do.
one?
On that one, there's just something about it that maybe it's everything else it's with.
Mm-hmm.
Something about that one, you never want to smell a nose on it. Just pick it up and start drinking. I'm not really getting that ethanol that I got the first time.
No. Number one is really good. It is not my favorite though. It is very good though. However, as I put these in order, I'm just going to turn them around. It's going to be 3, 2, 1 for me.
I don't know. I think
I'm anxious to find out which one's the cigar blend.
I'm going to have the same order really as you.
3, 2, 1.
However, one was a lot better to me that time.
Mm-hmm.
The first time I thought it was really spicy, really drank spicy. And I felt that it was a higher proof than anything we have. Like I felt it drank higher than
Yeah.
anything we have here. But I don't feel that way this time.
No,
And
I
so-
thought they all drank kind of the same, to be honest.
So this time I can't say that, well, that's probably the cigar blend because it doesn't really, it drank different that time. But I think I'm doing the same thing you are, really. That number three
Just to
is...
say, I would drink any of these anytime anybody poured me any of them. I do like them all.
Really, other than Buffalo Trace, I've never seen her turn anything down. So
It's not true.
I don't think it is. I think it's pretty accurate.
I don't like Jaeger. All right, so our number one pick is the regular Joseph Magnus Bourbon, or whiskey, the bourbon whiskey. That is $99.99. So this one is our favorite.
Comes in at 100 proof.
It does. And so that one is number one for us, which was our number three pour. Number two is the Murray Hill Club. That is $119.99. And that leaves number three,
The allocated bottle,
The-
the highly sought after.
Cigar Blend. That's $199.99. As
It's
our
still
third place.
good.
It is
It's
good.
still good.
But what this tells me is I can go in any day and get this one here
Yes.
for half the price of this one.
Yep.
And I like this one so much better.
And that one is, at least locally, always in the
Yeah,
store.
it is. It's always in the store. This one, it's hit and miss. You can find it more than the Cigar Blend, but it's harder to find.
It is.
You can't find it everywhere. But I guess what I'm saying is this: when this bottle's gone for $200, I don't know if we'll replace it when we like this one so much better.
Yeah, probably not. Honestly, probably not.
But I'm glad we have it. I'm glad we've gotten to taste it.
Yeah. I know that they were all enjoyed when we had our whiskey night last month, when we had these on there. And like Shona, I would drink any of the three of them anytime, but just a regular bottle,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah. Very good though.
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, we say it like, well, it's only $99. I mean, that's still plenty for a bottle of bourbon, really.
So let's evaluate that. Do we feel it's worth $99.99?
No, I don't think so.
I would like to see it more in the $70 range.
$70, I think, would be pretty spot on.
In fact, I believe a few months ago it was only $89.99.
That's very possible.
And I kicked myself because when I needed it to go get it, went up to $99.99. But honestly, it is really good. The $89.99 is a little bit more tolerable than the $99.99.
But 70 would be awesome for that
Yeah,
bottle.
it would be
really.
awesome.
65 to 70.
And I would say the Murray Hill Club should be, obviously, I feel all of these should be under 100.
These three bottles, in my opinion, should be priced kind of like the old Forester line.
Yes.
I mean, they're all right there in the $60 to $70 range, other than the 1924, which we feel should be down there with the rest of
The
them.
1924 is way too
Yeah,
overpriced.
it's a good bottle too, but it's overpriced for
Right.
what it is, in our opinion.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of the pages I follow, guys are just head over heels in love with that 1924, and it is good.
It is good.
It is good, but it's not. Here in Ohio, retails $119.99 on it. And it's not that much better than the rest of them.
It's not twice as good.
No, it's not. There's no way.
But yeah,
So that's what we think of the Joseph Magnus lineup.
it's wonderful whiskey. It is fabulous whiskey. It really is. Maybe a little overpriced, but really good.
It is, and I wish honestly we would have got into this a few years ago before the
The price
craze really took off. And I think from what we hear, COVID kind of affected this just like everything else. So I wish we'd have got into it when it was a little less expensive, but it is what it is. And we have this tendency to like what we like. And
Yep.
so if you have any questions, guys, drop them in the comments. Like we said earlier, if you're from Ohio and you know of any other Ohio distilleries that you think we should check out, drop that in the comments, let us know. If you like what we're doing, hit that like button, hit the bell, subscribe. We'd appreciate all that. Absolutely, we would. And until next time, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, everyone.